Hi, this is Tanya, and I'm continuing in this series of integration tools. This video is going to be focusing on how to use Google Forms, next level tools, and how to integrate it within your classroom. So in this video, the first thing I'm going to talk about are the questions that I did not consider basic. So the ones in the video that I did about doing Google Forms basic level, I'm going to mention those questions, but I'm not going to show you how to do those. Those were mentioned in the other playlist in this YouTube series for NWET called Basic Google Core Tools. In this one, I'm going to talk about some of the other question options that you have available for you. Then also I'm going to mention that there are some scripts and other options that you can do in the spreadsheet. I'm going to show you the image, video, and page break options that are included in the menu options as well. And then I'm going to sporadically throw in some integration ideas of how you can utilize them in your classroom. So now I'm going to continue on with some of the other questions that are that were not explained in the Google Basics. So we have the little toolbar here, and we have a little plus sign that allows me to add a new question. Well, some of the questions that I added were the, when you go here, the first ones that I talked about were short answer. So when you expect them to put a couple words or a phrase. Paragraph was the one that kind of referenced the essay. Multiple choice, that could be true or false, that could be yes, no, that could be 4 options, 6 options, whatever you want to make it, but only one answer is going to be correct. Checkbox is when you want things to be more than one selected. If you have options that you want the students to select. And the drop down is only one option, but it kind of condenses those the things that they're offering for you. Now I've started with file upload, and that's the first one that you're going to see in here. So when I set it up, I put my question, and basically I just told them a statement or directions. I want them to explain in a 1-minute video. So they're going to record that. I might have tutorials for them on my Google Classroom. I might explain to them how to do that 1-minute video. But here in this option, I'm asking them to submit that video, and they have to show me the results from their lab experiment that they did in class or at home, however they've done it. Now, some of the options that I had was allow only specific file types. I could have had that deselected, but when I select it, it gives me the option of only documents, presentations, drawing, image, spreadsheet, PDF, audio, video, image. So I just chose video because I wanted them to have a video. So when they go to try to upload something else, it will tell them they need to only upload a video file. Maximum number of files. I can go 1, 5, or 10. Maximum file size, 1, 10, 100, 1 gigabyte. I think I want to limit it to 100 megabytes because you can get a pretty decent video, actually under 50 megabytes, but I'm going to allow them to go up to 100 megabytes just so they don't have any complications with that. And so it can accept up to 1 gigabyte, and it says that I can change those settings if I need to. I still have the answer key, so I could go up there and say that it's worth how many of her points, or I could allow Google Classroom to do that grading, or I could have that grading be in there and not allow this to be worth any points. Maybe just the submission of it, I'll have worth 1 point. So that is the file upload question. The next thing that I want to do, and I can do this in a like a feedback or a follow-up or a check-in or an exit ticket where how well did you understand the lesson on fractions today? So if I go into edit it, whoops, my bad, jump down there. So when I go into edit this one, it gives me a range of 1 to 5. I could change that 0 all the way to 10. I've only chosen 1 to 5, and I want 1 being I don't get it, all the way to 5 I totally understand. So that when they see it, it looks like this. How well did you understand the lesson on fractions today? Then I have the same question twice, where I have the multiple choice grid, and I have the, this one was changed, and the checkbox grid. So those are very similar. I think when you look at the requires a response in each row, that's the thing that differs these options. And then the final question option is the checkbox grid. Now I have both of these are the same question with the same options so that I can show you how that looks differently. So I'm going to hit my eyeball to be able to preview this. I also can fill it out and it would accept the responses. So we can see again, these are short answer. This is the drop down. This is the multiple choice. And then we get down here to the add file. And this is the way it would look for a student where I click add file. It would have me browse to either upload, get something from my Google Drive, or something I previously selected for upload. Now the upload option for a Chromebook is pretty awesome and very simplified for the students. How well did you understand the lesson on fractions today? I could only select one, but I'm trying to decide the range of what I understood in that lesson. And here is the matching grid. And then this one's the checkbox grid. So let's see if it allows me to answer more than one. It does not. It only allows me to answer one per character, and that's what I want. I want to only be able to select one thing for that character and one thing for that characteristic. It won't let me select more than one. Let's see what it does down here for this one. Because it's a checkbox, I can choose more than one box, but that's not what my rules, my validation allows me to do. So it's going to give that warning to them. But since it's a checkbox, I can choose more than one, and that is the reason to use that question in that way. So when I come back here and I look at some of the settings for the checkbox grid and the matching grid, or multiple choice grid, I can require response in each row, and then also I have limit to one response per column, and I can shuffle the order of that. Down here, my options are the same thing, require response in each row, limit to one response per column, and the same thing there. So that allows you to mix up the way that those questions look and act to the way the students fill it out. The other two things that you have, you can add an image. So for instance, if I wanted to add an image and ask the students to identify something in that image, and then I could have a question below it. So it's going to put the image in here, I can put a title, and then I can put a question above or below it to have the students reference that. So I could put in a map, I could put in a passage from a story, I could take a screenshot of something and place it in there. Same thing with the video. I can bring in a video. So if I want to do something on fractions, to follow up on the lesson, I could insert this one. I'm not sure what it's about, but I could put the name of the video there, and then I could put a question or several questions below it asking about this video. Watch this video. I could put instructions in here and then have the students answer questions as they go down. So adding a section or a page break allows you to continue on through a certain way. So to practice page breaks, I'm going to ask the students, which character do you like best? I'm going to put Jean Valjean or Javert. So which character do you like best? And then based on their answer, they can go to a different section. So since I've only have next section, or I have this untitled section that I did, I can have it go there instead. So if they answer that they like Jean Valjean, I can have them go to this section. I'll go down here and I will call that section. And then I can have some questions about Jean Valjean. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add another section, and I'm going to call it, oops, Javert. And then I'm going to add a question, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to say it about Javert. Okay. So now when I go to preview this, okay, now in my multiple choice question that's going to help me explain the page breaks to you, if they answer Jean Valjean, they're going to go to that section. If they answer Javert, they're going to go to that section. So let's see what that looks like. So when I hit preview, I'm going to have to answer the first couple questions. And then the next question is going to decide where am I going to go from there. So however I answer that. So if I go Jean Valjean and I hit next, then it's going to go to the Jean Valjean section. It's going to say, explain what you like about Jean Valjean. So those are the question options that I would consider next level, or being able to challenge your students with the content. The only other questions I didn't go through were the date and the time, and I've seen those used as date and time for that day. Now, automatically the form will collect a timestamp. I have seen the date used for like history lessons if the teachers want them to enter a date of when something happened. So that could be useful as well. So integration ideas, the things that you can use these for besides basic assessments is to collect data. So survey, registration, polling, all those kind of things. Anytime you ever want to collect something in mass from the students, you can do that. I've seen it done for the like links. So if you have the students complete an assignment through ThingLink or Buncee or Prezi, something that generates a link, you can copy that link and paste it into the Google form. Then the teacher will have an entire spreadsheet of that information. You can do book reports in here. So any of the questions that you want the students to answer about something would be a question within the form that you've created. You can also do WebQuest or choose your own adventure story. You can get very creative using the Google form in many ways. It doesn't have to just be for an assessment piece asking multiple choice questions. It could be to upload files like I had shown you, to give a link, to give information, to organize data in the sheet, because if we recall, it does have a spreadsheet. So as we have shown before, the spreadsheet that is connected to that Google Sheet will allow you to do other things as well. We can use add-ons. So we could click Get Add-ons and see all the things that we can use within that form. Remember, it is a spreadsheet, so it acts like the same scripts and equations and filters and all that kind of stuff that you can do within Excel. It is very robust in the things that the spreadsheet can do. I can even go to the tools and I can do the script editor to do things as well. Every update, the spreadsheet portion, which is attached to the Google Form responses, is doing more and more. So that's our video on the next level tools and integration ideas for Google Forms. Just think of anything that you want to collect, and you can do that simply through Google Form. There's a lot of times when someone gives me a spreadsheet and they want me to put information in it, and I was always thinking, why don't you put it in a Google Form? It simplifies the way I enter the data. It allows me to have this linear way of putting data in and then just hitting submit and it's in there. So it's a great way of data collection, even if it's for a lab, science experiments, anything that you have students doing in organized groups or collaborative groups, they can enter the data in there, or all the information that they're supposed to collect during that time that they're sitting together in their groups. The other thing that it can be used for is flipped classroom. It could be used for the anticipatory set. You could give them videos and questions throughout. So if you've watched our blended series, this would be a great tool to be able to collect information to see if the students had done the homework at home, which is basically just them getting started or introduced to the materials. It also could be a place for feedback and questioning so the teacher can respond and give them feedback on the information that they've covered in class and or online. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or any more integration ideas, you can email me, sanders@nwoet.org. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.